Hi there. Now, European Union, since past so many decades, has been an attractive club, and most of the time, it has achieved what it intends to, or rather, what it was intended when it was constituted. Let it be economic integration of Europe, let it be social integration of Europe, let it be the foreign policy, common foreign policy, even somewhat to an extent, even defense. But some things are not going in a proper direction. You look at Hungary. Now, Hungary has integrated its economy in Europe. It has integrated its manpower, its human resources with Europe very well. They have done it. They have achieved all those things. But politically, it is not ready to integrate in a liberal democratic type of Europe. And a liberal democratic type of Europe is what Brussels intends for, is what the Brussels bureaucracy is working for. So there are fissures between Hungary and Brussels. And we also saw Brexit, though there were talks about Frexit also, but with once again the winning of Emmanuel Macron, the Frexit has been postponed. So these all things are there. Post Brexit, there are issues with Britain as well as with European Union. And Frexit is always a thing which the extreme right wing of France talks about. There are also voices of such kind there in Germany. So if you talk about Europe and a happy ending scenario, I don't think that post Ukraine war there is something like a happy ending scenario vis-a-vis the European Union, and the results are following. What I am seeing, the economic mess under the garbage of this war in the European Union, the inflation in the European Union is leading to a kind of extreme right wing nationalism in the European countries. We have seen the example of in the election of Italy, and an extreme right wing, very close to fastest Italy kind of ideology, kind of leadership is in power. We have also seen the Swedish election there also. An extreme right wing kind of nationalistic polity. It worked in elections. We are also seeing Emmanuel Macron. He's having a tough time. He's not in a very good position right now there in France. Then other countries, even you look at Holland or Netherlands. Netherlands also there. You can hear all kind of voices in the polity of Netherlands. So what I'm seeing vis-a-vis the European Union countries, that individual countries are moving towards extreme right wing nationalism because of economic circumstances, because of the war circumstances, because of the immigration which have taken place, and because of the American interference in many of their foreign policies. So, this kind of extreme right wing nationalism, especially with Europe, is something which is worrisome because we have seen two great wars. And when nationalism takes place in Europe, then it often clashes among each other. Why? Because these are small nation states with very integrated border, with very much integrated as well as competing interests vis-a-vis technology, vis-a-vis economy, vis-a-vis movement of people as well as services, vis-a-vis the foreign policy. So when small states, if you are talking about United States, a huge country, Russia is a huge country, India is a huge country, China is a huge country, Brazil is a huge country, but when you talk about the small states with small population going on extreme right-wing nationalism, then there are consequences. And because of these consequences and the past experience of European right-wing nationalism, I think there is no happy end story for European Union. Thank you.